Yeah, I signed back into a fucking Yahoo account that I didn't access for like, I'm going to guess 8 years. And then whenever I tried to get back into it, it was like, sorry, Russians own this now. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I guess you guys have fun with that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It ain't yours anymore. It's gone.
Welcome to another episode of Podcast the Movie the Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Weese, coming in hot at you. And with me as mostly, I have my three compadres. We'll start with Mr. Logan Henderson.
Howdy.
There he is. Rubyen McCormick.
R.I.P. Bob Odenkirk.
Just shut the fuck up, dude.
He's
No.
fine.
Oh, is he good?
Don't be spreading that misinformation, you piece of shit.
I
Absolutely.
read something on
Fake
Facebook.
news.
Sorry.
Fake.
Is he alive?
Yes, he's fine. He's fine.
Okay.
The Twitter said he's fine, so he's fine.
Okay.
Mr. Austin Newell.
Alrighty, don't worry, guys. Bob Odenkirk, he's fine.
He's fine.
He's fine.
All right.
Everything is great. All right, guys. So another week. It's actually been a little while since we actually recorded an episode. I know for all you guys in podcast town, it's just purred on like always. We've actually had a couple week break. Just staying apart from each other. Everybody got sick of each other's bullshit.
Mostly
Yoko
Rubens.
Ono tried to break up the fucking band.
me.
It was terrible. It was 100%. It was Rubens.
I
Absolutely
wanted to be the lead singer at least for like 2 tracks.
I understand.
Yeah, but
And
it results in
to
an
be Scott
inferior
Stapp. I gotcha.
product, and it's just the reality
Let's
of it.
let
and I
the
couldn't-
fans decide. Let
No,
the fans
the
decide.
fans don't know what they want, though, right? Okay,
Yeah.
you know what? We left this in the past. Let's leave it in the past.
All right.
All right, guys. So here we are again. Remote this time. We're not in the studio
Precautions.
this episode.
Delta precautions.
This time. Yeah. I don't know where or whenever it is that you guys are going to be listening to this, but we're in is it the resurgence? Is this what's happening?
This is like
what's
round
happening outside right now?
7 at this
Resurrection.
point?
I think it's
Yeah.
Revelations. right?
Yeah, Matrix 3 Resurrection.
Okay.
It's not
This is
even
where we are.
It's not even the name of
Yeah.
it.
In the COVID game, this is where we are right now. So, yeah, man, things are picking up outside, and just when things were starting to get a little bit back to normal-ish. I hope this doesn't fuck up movie theaters because, like, legitimately, my biggest fear is them pushing off Dune for another fucking year.
No.
And I'll be mad as
No,
shit.
no.
Oh my god, I would be mad.
I'm
as
mad.
shit.
Wait.
Why you gotta speak that shit into existence, man?
Do you guys
Dude, I'm
remember?
telling you, this
You guys
is-
remember 007?
Oh, I know. Yeah,
That was
yeah.
supposed to come
It
out
was
like
supposed
2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, all of those movies, man.
You
All
guys-
those movies got
You
fucked.
guys ready to watch Free Guy?
Oh, yeah, fucking
Yeah,
Free Guy
Free
hasn't
Guy.
even come out yet. Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah,
correct
man.
me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I watched a trailer for Free Guy when I saw Avengers Endgame.
Oh, no, I
I
bet
think.
you're not
Yeah,
wrong.
I think we did. Yeah,
And that was like
3 years ago.
Yeah, forever ago. Here we are.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Well, we had a year without movies, which was super weird for everybody.
Yeah, maybe you
and
did.
Then,
It probably hurt Tyler
well,
more than it hurt
I
anybody.
never stopped going to the theater. I know what you're talking about.
you just showed up
Yeah,
with
you
no
went-
one there.
Yeah,
There you go.
I was just
There you
knocking
go.
on the door. I was like, "Let me in."
hey, can I come in and just like look at the screen? Yeah, man. So I hope that nothing gets fucked. But there's a high probability that shit can get fucked pretty sideways pretty quickly. So, but yeah, man. Like we were watching Dune fucking trailers over here. I'm rereading Dune right now in preparation for the movie coming out, and I'm super hyped. There's a new trailer that just came out for it.
Wait, you mean the
yeah.
mini
Whoa,
series?
whoa. I need y'all to stop right where you're at. Did you guys
Go.
see the trailer for the new Chucky TV series by Sci-Fi?
I was gonna- hey,
I
I was
forgot to
gonna
mention
mention
that.
that.
Yeah.
I was gonna
No,
mention that.
I did not see
Voiced
So-
by Brad Dourif from the movies.
I don't know who
except
that
for
is.
the new movie.
I don't
Come
know.
on, you guys. We're going to watch this. We're going to have a whole podcast. We're going to talk about it.
Here's
gonna
what
be
we
great.
You
do.
know what?
Here's what we do. Austin, you set the time and the date, and we all get on
Logan's
here on
leaving.
Discord, and somebody stream it in this Discord, and we just watch it together.
No.
No.
I'm down.
How about we
Let's do
don't
it.
and say we didn't? Yeah.
How about you
Okay.
watch
Yeah,
it
no.
like fucking Lord of the Rings finally? How about that?
Yeah,
Oh,
or
Jesus
Terminator
Christ, that'd be-
2.
There's
Did
so
you,
many.
did you not
yeah.
see that there was a Chucky TV show? Need I say
saw
more?
I saw the
Okay,
trailer and
so-
I was gonna text you and then I forgot to. So
I saw the trailer and I was sitting there watching movie trailers on the TV, and my wife was sitting there next to me, and she was like, "Is this Chucky?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, Austin's gonna love this shit."
You damn right.
So yeah.
You did
yeah.
even like I mean even the doll looked great. I mean it looked just like the movies, but like
Nope.
just
Looks bad.
Chef's fucking kiss. That
Yeah,
shit's
and
gonna
it's,
be awesome.
It's on Sci-Fi, so
Yeah.
you know it's just
Oh.
super high quality production.
It's gonna be
I'm
super
sorry,
awesome.
It's on Siffy. So
Siffy.
I hope that this
Siffy.
TV show comes out and it just fucking knocks everyone's socks off just so I can give a big fat I told you so to all three of you.
yeah, I hope so. I hope that's exactly what happens. I have
Me
a
too.
very strong feeling that is not going to be what happens. Though.
No, I'm going to tell you right
Um,
now that's not what's going to happen, but I'm going to enjoy every minute of it.
Yeah.
It's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, so I've been watching a shit ton of just movie trailers and things in preparation for going back to the theaters. Actually, I'm supposed to go to the theaters tomorrow night, so we'll see how this all plays out. Who's seeing Green Knight with me? That's right, everybody.
I mean, I'm
Gonna be
down.
Yeah, the Green
Yeah.
Knight looks fucking
I don't
awesome.
know.
Green Knight looks really good.
I don't know the
There's a
first
lot
thing
of-
about it, dude. I watched like a 30-second
Good.
teaser, and I was like, "This looks cool," and that was it.
You haven't.
I literally watched the trailer one time. I'm not
you
going to
haven't
watch it again.
read
I'm just going to go see
the
it.
original story. I thought
Yeah,
everyone
the
had.
original story. It's like a 300-year-old fucking.
I thought everyone had to
Arthurian
read
tale.
that. in
The
high
Dark
school.
Knight?
Yeah, I thought that.
The Dark.
No, the Green Knight.
Yeah, you know.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
the, wait, it's
Batman.
the movie. It's that green. They're remaking that one that came out like 10 years ago. You know.
Seth Rogen, the dark,
Yeah, that one.
the
The-
Green Hornet. I got you
Yeah, they're remaking
Yes.
that.
again
That's
with
absolutely
Seth
correct.
Rogen.
Sounds about right.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
yeah.
what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just grew out his hair. That's all he did.
It's a reboot. That's exactly what's happening.
I'm ready. So what do you guys been doing?
So that was going to be my question. I'll start with you, Ruby. So what have you been watching?
You had to
lately?
open your big fat mouth, Ruben. Now he's starting with you.
Yeah, I messed up. So guys, look, let me tell you. So in preparation for Close Encounters, this has actually been happening prior to Close Encounters, but I've been watching X-Files. As you can
we've
see,
been watching X-Files.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Tyler and I and a couple guys stay up till like 3 a.m. and we watch X-Files on Discord. And
I fell asleep last night.
he literally fell asleep in the middle of the episode.
Yeah.
And
One of
goes,
the guys was like, "Hey, Tyler just took a 5-second power nap." It's exactly what happened.
he goes, I got to go to bed, guys. Immediately logs out. There was no pleasantries. It was, I got to go to bed.
No.
Boo-doo.
Yeah. Yeah. I was out. So
I do that. I do that all the time. It's fine.
yeah.
Yeah, but I've been watching X-Files. It's just it holds up so well for me. And Superstore. I think Austin, you mentioned Superstore again.
I watched the first 2 episodes.
Well, okay. Here's my problem. I watched like the past 3 seasons in the past 2 days. The episodes are like 20 minutes, okay, which is digestible, and it's a very binge-worthy show. And there's no real over-connected story for the most part. There's character progression, but you can turn on Superstore and then like make a sandwich while it's on and just listen to it, and it's still funny. So I've been watching
That's awesome.
Superstore constantly, and I play a lot of Dota for like 6 hours a day because I'm worthless. And so while I'm playing Dota, I usually have Superstore running on the other monitor, and it's become my show. So I just watch Superstore constantly, and I've made it up to almost the latest season where they're starting to reference Corona. It hasn't started yet with the mask, but they're talking about Corona, and they're doing side hustles to make extra money because their hours are getting cut, and because corporate's coming in and a new company bought them out, and they want them to download like employee apps to track them on the work floor. And like the show's just super relevant to me. And
It's awesome.
I really appreciate it. But I also
I'm glad
watched
you
Space
finally
Jam.
have jumped on board.
I'm with,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
definitely Brooklyn Nine-Nine in a retail store for the most part. Probably not as.
Yep. I said the exact same thing, man.
Yeah, no, it really is. And a lot of SNL alumni show up throughout the series, which is just a plus for me. But I also watched Space Jam. I'm probably a little bit late on this one, but
Go on and slam.
yeah, dude, listen, I was so slammed because I had some gummies that may or may not have been legal in Texas. I don't even know what I ate. I just ate them, dude. Some guy was like, "Try these gummies, eat 4 of them." And I was like, "Oh, these taste good." 2 hours later, I'm on the couch watching Space Jam for some reason, laughing, just dying. Like, look, Space Jam, the first Space Jam is a masterpiece. Okay.
Is it?
Okay.
Don't even argue me. Don't even argue.
Yeah, I'm not.
If it's so bad, why did they re-release it on a 4K
I'm
steelbook?
not
That's
saying
all
that
I'm
it's
saying.
so bad because
that's a good question.
I
Literally
watched
just
Space
to-
Jam every single day when I
just-
was a kid. I just did.
They just re-released Howard the Duck on steelbook 4K as well. So
My point
you know.
exactly. Masterpieces get re-released.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
My point exactly.
Actually,
George Lucas and Spielberg just going ham on
like that.
80s like bestiality makes sense. Okay. So I watched Space Jam: A New Legacy.
On 80s
And-
bestiality. Go ahead.
I enjoyed it. I thought that it was super fun. There were parts where I literally was LOL. Like I couldn't not LOL, and it wasn't the gummies. It was just good writing. If you guys haven't seen Space Jam, please watch it. Please
I've
get
seen
on
it.
HBO Max. Did you? Let me get some of your context in a little bit, man. Because
You'll
I'm
get
telling
it.
you, I loved it. I give it an 8 out of 10. I think LeBron James.
Oh shit!
I think LeBron James could carry a movie if they gave him a good script.
Jesus Christ!
I'm just saying, dude. Look,
Too many goddamn
Denis
gummies.
Villeneuve, call LeBron James.
Put
Get
LeBron-
this motherfucker in a movie.
put LeBron in Matrix, dude. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
You need to watch it in a
Yes,
different state of
absolutely.
mind, is what I would say.
I'll still laugh my ass off, dude.
Yeah.
All the classic Looney Tunes stuff is there. It was super loony. It was super toony. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna go back. I'll watch it again. I really did. I enjoyed it. If I had
good.
children,
It's good.
this would be the perfect kids movie. This would be the perfect family movie. It was. I don't know. It was a lot of fun. Okay. So, other than that, guys, that's about it. I haven't really watched a lot of movies. I've been watching a lot of TV shows, mostly X-Files and Superstore.
Okay, so for an immediate, cross comparison, Logan, tell us what you've been up to.
I'd be happy to. I also watched Space Jam: A New Legacy.
Oh,
And
really? That's weird.
yeah.
Ah,
And let me tell
coincidentally.
you that as a kid,
8
I
out of
worshipped Space Jam 1. I would give Space
Uh-huh.
Jam 1 as a kid a 10 out of 10. As an adult,
Oh,
I would
shit.
give it like, probably like a 6 or 7.
9 out of 10, 7. Yeah,
Um,
maybe 7 at the lowest.
Yeah. But the new one, right? LeBron James cannot carry a film. He does a
Not supposed to.
respectable job. He does a respectable job, though. Especially,
Sure.
I was impressed whenever they went into like the cartoon, like he became a cartoon for a little bit. That was actually his best performance, I thought, was when he was a cartoon.
Voice acting.
Yes, because he just like, I guess they were just like, dude, have fun, and he didn't have to worry. He didn't have to think so much about what he was doing. He was just worried about the acting part, and I think it actually worked for him.
What
Yeah.
do I do with my hands?
A lot of that going on.
Yeah.
And the story sucks. It does,
Dude, it's Looney Tunes. What do you?
it doesn't like
Warner
it's
Brothers
so-
created software to make movies so they don't have to hire writers and directors. There's no better context there. It's 2021.
no. The very very surface level, beats of the story are fine for what they are, and at least they're
Okay.
more interesting than the original. It's the pacing and the way that they go about it that's super weird. Like they spend so much time. Like okay, also the movie's too long. So the first hour.
Oh, okay. I won't
going.
argue.
Just
I
keep
won't
going.
argue with that.
The first hour is all set up for the game, right? And you expect the game itself, maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Nope. It is another hour that you are in the basketball game, in the main game. Another hour. And like there's so much shit going on in there. There are so many references that are just ham-fisted, just right into this
Dude,
thing.
I saw
that-
the Scooby-Doo gang up on the hill, and
Yeah.
I had to rewind the movie. I was like, dude, look at Scooby-Doo up there.
There's so much shit just shoved in here, and they go through all of the Warner Brothers
IPs.
collections, and it's just like, dude, they had this blowback because they had the Clockwork Orange guys in there, but they left so much shit that is still not kid friendly in there. They didn't care about. It was just odd.
All the it characters in the background just laughing.
Exactly. But the main problem that I had was great value Bugs Bunny. The voice actor didn't like that. That threw me off. Just great value Bugs Bunny did not work. But the fact that they made them 3D freaked me out. It was Uncanny Valley. Didn't like that.
They had to get an upgrade.
Yeah. And they call it out, too. Like, they call out that it's stupid because the character's like, this isn't us. This sucks.
That seems expensive. That's what they said in the trailer. So
Yeah. And
also, every shot from the trailer is in the movie.
Yeah.
Copy for
of course.
There's nothing to learn from watching the movie because everything you don't see in the trailer is just a reference to something you enjoyed as a kid. So I can't decide if this movie was made for kids now or made for people who were kids when the first one came out.
It's like, a little of both, man.
It's a little of both, and I think that's where they messed up because there's a lot of references in there where kids today would not get it. But there's also a lot of dumb shit in there that kids would like, but me now, I'm like, cringy. Don't know. Overall,
should
though,
I watch it?
8
Yes.
out of 10, I would watch it again.
He gave it an 8 out of 10.
Oh, wow. How the fuck
you
did you just give
serious?
it an 8 out of 10?
Now here,
I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Let me explain why. I hated the first 30 minutes or 45 minutes. I hated it. I almost turned it off. But then I started to kind of laugh at what I was looking at, not because of the jokes. There was some references and stuff that I was like, oh, that's fun, and I did laugh at a couple jokes. But first, they put Big Chungus in this thing, so that should tell you right there that they were not keeping it highbrow. Okay, they were willing to go as low as they could, and I kind of respected that. I kind of respected that they also kind of took shots at themselves for the fact that it was just a big-ass commercial for themselves and an ad. It was very self-aware in a lot of places.
Sarah Silverman as the WB executive just doing whatever LeBron says when he goes like,
just
I don't think this is a good idea. And she goes, that's what I said. Like right after she said, this is a great idea. Like I died laughing at that. I don't know.
It was so obviously set up that way, but yeah, I mean, you should watch it. It's worth watching it. It's not going to ruin the original for you.
If you like Looney Tunes and you know what a basketball is.
Okay. I hit both of those qualifiers.
Also,
you're
you
right
need to see whatever the fuck Don Cheadle was doing. Like
it's
whatever.
very okay. Yeah, Don Cheadle is essentially an AI pedo, and like
it's weird.
It gets weird. Yeah,
You're not selling the movie.
It's like
for
he
me.
gets jealous that LeBron James is more interested in his son than doing his thing, because that's what it is. LeBron James is like, no, that's not really my thing, and also like he's not digging the AIs.
So he kidnaps somebody.
So he kidnaps that kid and then like tries to be his new dad. And LeBron's like, son, what are you doing? And then what's weird is they make it seem like almost like LeBron's son would be like going along with it and he's getting turned to the other side. But at no point in the movie is LeBron's son like, yeah, dude, you're a better dad than my dad at all. That never happens. So it's just really fucking awkward every time. It's weird.
That's just creepy.
It is. And Don Cheadle is just,
I just want to let you know that Marvin the Martian showed up like at one point, and I was laughing, so I was wheezing just because Marvin the Martian showed up, okay? And I was doing this was my studying for Close Encounters was Space Jam, because there's a UFO in the movie, and there's a Martian.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I mean, sure.
Think about it.
It's just dead.
Hey,
It's
besides
also blew my
Space Jam,
mind.
though, did you watch anything else, man?
I watched a lot else because, like you mentioned at the top, there's been a bit of time in between episodes. But I won't go through all of them like normal. So just to give you some context on how long it seems like it's been, I don't think I've talked about these. Maybe I have. I don't remember anymore. I don't know if I've talked to you guys about how I watched Lincoln.
Yeah.
You mentioned that.
Did I talk
never
about it
heard
on the
that.
podcast, or did I talk about it?
I think so.
No.
I think
Never-
we talked about it on the podcast.
I
never
also
said that.
I'm pretty sure you did.
I watched 1917.
Oh, yeah.
And I talked about how, it gets way too into its, whole gimmick that causes it to be
That's
a problem.
That's my entire viewpoint on that movie, is that it leans too hard on this idea of single shot to give it its characters like any substance.
The story suffers greatly for it, but as
look, it's a critical test.
Yeah.
As what the cinematographer is capable of doing. I
think everyone should watch that movie, like just to get that experience, because it is wild.
Yep,
I should check it out.
It really is. Like
it was fun as fuck watching it in the theaters too. And then the second time I watched it, because like the gimmick loses its charm after the first time that you watch it. And the second time that you watch it, the movie has almost no impact at all.
Yeah.
Because like once you know all the beats to it.
Hey, totally off topic. Sorry to interrupt, Logan. I just real quick want to confirm. Like when we watch Dune, are we going to IMAX?
I hope so.
Preferably.
All right.
We can.
We'll do that. We'll do that off podcast.
Take a little road trip.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
All right. The thing that gave it away to me the first time I watched that movie was actually in the beginning scene when they're walking, which the way it opens is genius, because it's literally just like Skyrim. Like he's like, "Hey, you, wake up!" And
you just wake up. You walk into the middle.
It's
of it.
very video game-y. And then but then they're walking, and it's cool because you just for a while. It's really cool what's going on, and then there's these long spaces of time where there's nothing happening, but because they have to keep the one shot, and they're not where they need to be yet, it's just them like walking. After a while, you're just like, all right, well, they're just walking for
and
a
they
minute
did that
straight.
whole thing where they do those transitions that are it's made to feel like one shot, but it's obviously it's just you can see the stitching lines the second time that you go back and watch it.
Yeah,
I mean not like visually you can see the stitching lines, but like legitimately you can see where all the edit points are.
Well, I think the reason that
the second
happens
time that you watch
is because they use the same trick several times. When
several
it comes
times.
to the panning, where you're like
panning across the thing,
and you just know like, oh, this is where this has got to be where.
Yeah.
And like you said,
This is
it's
an
hard
edit.
to like see it. It's well done, but if you're like
of
a
course.
movie guy, like we all are, then you'll know. Okay, this is probably where it happened. Outside of that, I have also finished now again because I've already seen it, but I restarted The Man in the High Castle. I finished the first season.
Oh yeah,
it's awesome.
First season is so fucking good. First and second season of that are incredible. By the time it gets, is it like the fifth season? I think is the last season.
See, I don't know, because when it first came out, I watched the first season, all of it, and then I started when the second season came out. I watched maybe 2 or 3 episodes, and then I kind of quit watching it because I don't know, various things were going on at the time.
Yeah, sure.
And then I never got back into it, but I read the book, but it's not like the book at all, almost.
No.
So, that almost doesn't matter. There's characters, like major characters in the show that are not in the book at all. So that's kind of weird, but I don't know. I'm enjoying it. So I don't know how you guys feel about Nazis, but you'll find yourself sympathizing sometimes with the Nazi guy because he goes through a tough thing, and then you're like, wait a second, no, he's a Nazi, he's bad. But then you're like, wait a second, but it's Rufus Sewell, and he's awesome, and I love him, so I kind of like him just inherently.
And look, I like his whole like the once you start getting into his background and like how he became a Nazi and the like all the shit that he went through. I mean, look, it's a super fucked up show. It really is.
Oh yeah.
But it's it's one of those. It's like a multiverse show. It's exactly what it ends up. It's like Avengers, and it's like it's Loki, and it's all the other shit that's out there that's multiverse right now. So,
well, don't give away too much. With it, if people haven't seen it, because there's things to be learned.
I'll watch it one day. I've always wanted to look into it.
My favorite character is Inspector Keto because he literally is Japanese Javert.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome, dude. He's just a hard ass.
Yeah,
he just
badass.
He just walks in a room and you're like, oh, he's about to fuck some shit up, and he does.
Oh yeah, and does.
He does.
Yep, multiple times.
Yep.
This is on Amazon.
Yeah, it's an Amazon Prime.
Yes, it's on Amazon Prime. Yeah,
video.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
There was something else also that I watched, but I can't think of what it is right now. So
when you remember it, we'll come back to it.
Someone else go.
Austin, what you up to, man?
hey man, it's your boy, me. I know what y'all are thinking. You're like, wow, Austin hasn't talked terribly too much the past few minutes. That's fine. You know what? You want to know what I've been doing? I'm sure you've noticed my head has been like this for like 20 minutes. And
Are you reading a fucking book?
Boy, don't I wish. No, I'm actually working on our new logo because
Okay.
I've actually completed most of it. I don't know. I'm looking at it right now, and I'm like, I'm not 100% sold on it. I'm going to show
Okay.
it to you guys here in a minute. But so far so good. But
Awesome.
in terms of what are we talking about? Shit we watched.
Yeah.
So on the flight back from Denver yesterday, Hannah and I since she watched Inside by Bo Burnham, she then opened up and was like, hey, let's watch some other Bo Burnham specials. And I was like, yes, because before she watched Inside, she hated Bo Burnham. And it's because she watched him a long time ago and just didn't like him for some reason. And we watched Make Happy and we watched
Hell yeah.
What? And she loved both
Okay.
of them. And after I rewatched them, I was like, wow, it's been way too long since I've rewatched these because they're awesome. But it's interesting how you can see, like, you know, in What, because it came out before Make Happy, like you can see like how What is like it's so like childish and like the humor is just off the wall and he's like a little bit serious but not really. And then you watch Make Happy and it gets like a little bit more depressing like when you watch Make Happy. And then I didn't realize that Make Happy like ends like right kind of where Inside starts.
Yeah.
Correct.
Almost like he kind of planned that shit like 5 years before Inside even came out, which is kind of funny. But
Are
so
you
yeah, I
saying
watched that.
Bo Burnham is the one who caused COVID?
Yes.
Confirmed?
That's
I think
exactly.
that's
He
what he's
just
saying.
said that.
Yeah.
He's
That's
got
some
some
wild
ties.
ass theories.
Maybe he's got some ties to some, you know, elites that I don't know, you know?
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
But outside of that, I'm glad we're here because I did want to talk about a particularly shitty movie that I watched called Old by M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shamalamadingdong.
So,
I too saw that.
Should we preface
Yeah.
any discussion on this with a spoiler since it's a pretty new movie
No.
and it's also
No,
an M.
nobody,
Night movie?
why not?
nobody's gonna
hey,
go watch it.
you know what?
No, a
If
lot
you
of people
don't
are
want
watching Old.
spoilers. If you guys don't want spoilers for the movie Old, can you just skip ahead like 5 minutes because I'm about to rant. So, hold on, let me give you a second to skip. All right,
Okay,
now
go.
that you've skipped, all right. So, do you guys care if I spoil it? Have you guys seen it?
I don't care.
I've seen it.
I haven't seen
Now,
it.
Tyler,
I don't
correct me
care.
if I'm wrong, but outside of M. Night Shyamalan himself acting in the movie, everybody else,
And he has a big acting part in it as well.
yeah,
Which is fucking weird because it's usually some silly ass cameo. And in this, he's
He's
like the bus driver. So, and then he's also part. Do you guys care if we spoil this?
No,
Reuben?
I don't care at all.
Nope.
Okay.
all right. Yeah, go
he's
ahead.
part of the entire conspiracy behind the island itself. So, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen the movie. Just as a heads up.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you know, that's the same thing with like a fucking Looney Tunes trailer. If you've seen the trailer, you've seen the movie. And look, it's not that it's like terrible. Is it? Is I don't know if it's his
So here's the
worst
thing.
Film.
Here's the thing. The idea, like the story, like the whole, like, you know, you're getting old on the island, but like the resort is using you as test trials for curing diseases. Like they're making you drink drinks when you get onto the resort that have different like effects on people based on like whatever,
Medications.
right? Different medications based on certain diseases, based on what you have as a disease, and they're seeing the effects of, like, you know, since you're aging rapidly on the island, how does that affect you in your lifespan? And it's really like the idea is really cool,
No,
but
it-
it's
he stole
executed
it.
horribly.
He stole that
Huh?
entire idea from Fallout. Just saying.
Oh yeah,
Lifted.
yeah.
Lifted from Fallout.
But
He played a lot of it.
but like that's
Look, this.
go ahead.
The thing that he's trying to say is like legitimately Logan, you and I actually had this conversation the other day, which is M. Night Shyamalan he's a great like idea guy, and then he should just he should come up with the ideas and then give the idea to somebody else and be like, okay, y'all go do something with that now, and then he should just leave and then just
and
never
then he
write a
should
script.
just leave.
Yeah, he's not a bad idea guy.
Yeah.
He's just
He's
a
good
terrible
big picture
execution guy.
Yeah, he needs to be. He needs to go to just being a producer.
And this is how human beings would talk. No, it's not, you fucking idiot.
The biggest problem with his dialogue is it's so bad about explaining exactly what you just saw. Like he's like, wait a second, we're on this island. Well, guess what? I'm a doctor, so I know exactly the cure for this thing. And this guy's, well, guess what? I know about rocks or something, and we just happen to have this rock that tells us this. And it's like, this is all very fucking convenient.
You damn near just told the entire fucking story right there.
That's pretty much
there's
old.
a doctor on the like legitimately. There's a doctor that's on the island, and except the doctor is he's like an Alzheimer's guy. And
Hey,
so,
what's that movie with Marlon Brando and Jack Nicholson?
Marlon Brando,
Godfather?
and Jack Nicholson.
I'm just kidding.
Oh shit, that's right. He keeps saying that.
Come
shit
on,
over and
yeah,
over
I'm
again,
literally
doesn't he?
staring at you,
Yeah.
Tyler. Like, come on.
Yeah. That's right. He's like, yeah, you know, it's that
Because the fucking
movie.
doctor, as he's getting older, it's like he's getting more.
He has Alzheimer's.
He has like
That's right.
Alzheimer's, and like he's about to give surgery, and he's like, "What's that movie with Marlon Brando and Jack Nicholson?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, shut up." Also, the part that really ruined that movie for me, not that it already wasn't ruined when I started watching it, but there's a part, and I don't remember exactly the dialogue, but there was a blonde woman, and she's like crying over something, I think because she's getting old, and she's venting to another girl, and she's talking about her first love, and Tyler, correct me if I'm wrong. Hold on. Can you guys hear me good? My Wi-Fi's fluttering.
Yes.
I got you.
No, go ahead.
You just
Again, okay, because my Wi-Fi dropped to 1 bar.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I know. We saw.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But she's talking, and she's like, she's crying, sobbing, and she's like, I'll never forget my first love. His name was Giuseppe. And that shit, I died the second that bitch said Giuseppe in the fucking theater. And Hannah was
There's
fucking
so many points in there that were non-comedy. Hilarious.
Literally hilarious. Like, I mean, now the part when that same blonde woman died, I thought that was neat. Like, but it was a little fucking stupid. But it was neat. The
whole thing.
Cinematography, horrible. Sometimes the camera, I'm going to show you. Sometimes, like, someone would be talking, right? And the camera would be like this. and they'd be like, why is the island why are we getting old? What's going on?
Yeah, that's
and
called the
there'll be
Mr.
someone
Robot
standing-
camera, dude.
Someone will be standing right over here, and then it'll be like this. And they'll be like, what do you mean? Everyone's getting old? I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, why is the camera doing that? It's the
Austin,
stupidest
look,
thing
let
I've
me
ever
explain
seen.
to you what negative space framing is. So it's meant
no.
to create tension in the scene because
There was no tension.
Oh, well.
You don't understand. You know what? Go see the movie, and let's create another podcast about that movie, because we can talk about it.
I don't
It's-
know if that's
it's
worth
really bad.
the effort.
I thought I was
it's
like,
not his worst. It's not his worst movie.
I mean, it's
worst
not The
movie is
Happening.
definitely The Happening.
No, his worst movie is
So,
Avatar. That's the worst movie.
What do you-
Okay.
wait,
okay,
what
yes,
movie?
His worst movie is Avatar.
What do you?
That is
I've never
correct.
heard of that one.
Not James Cameron's Avatar. M. Night Shamalamadingdong's Avatar.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. I wish I'd never heard of it. Yeah, it's just terrible. What other movies? Whatever else have you watched or?
sorry, I'm
played
just
or
still
seen or-
reeling. I'm just still reeling from how bad Old is.
Yeah.
Like it just how it had so much potential, and then he just fucking squandered it. But
Oh yeah, of course. That's what he does with his movies.
Hannah and I started watching. I've already seen it. She's never seen Malcolm in the Middle. And,
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, y'all know. Y'all get it. She's never seen it, and we're like halfway through the first season right now, and she loves it.
Dude,
because
binge it.
Great.
I'm watching
love
it
Frankie.
now, bro,
Quality.
and that shit's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
And,
Do
and
we?
think about the time too, the period piece of it. Like it was so modern. It was so goddamn modern week over week. Like, yeah, I love Malcolm in the Middle.
bro, half the shit
me
that
too.
happens in every episode it's hilarious, and I don't know why that show.
Wait till like
part of
season
me-
4, man.
I mean, part of me feels like that show is kind of cult classic-y, because I feel like a lot of people nowadays don't even talk about it. Like, that show is really good for what it
Oh,
is.
fucking WandaVision makes a direct reference to Malcolm in the Middle and that whole
Yeah.
episode style.
Shot for
of-
shot.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I remember. Yeah, it was like
Case
the
of the
90s.
Mondays.
So yeah, watching Malcolm in the Middle. I did watch the first 2 episodes of Superstore. I liked the first episode way more than I liked the second episode, but I still felt the same. Like it's great, and I plan to watch more of that. I haven't watched a lot since, but that's very good. I did not, but Tyler, I spoke to you the other day about Inside being in theaters. And I was in Denver over the weekend, and on Sunday they had theaters playing Inside, and I tried to convince the group to go with me to see it, and everyone said no. So we didn't go see.
I would have had to have left that group and just gone to see it by myself. So
yeah, it wouldn't. It's just there was no way to convince everyone to go to the movies on a trip. But
Fuck 'em.
that would have been fun. But
Oh yeah.
outside of that, I don't think, and chances are I'm going to remember something like 20 minutes from now, but right now, I don't think I've watched anything else. I think that's it. Hell yeah.
Well-
Hell yeah, your boy's good. Mic drop.
And then
There he
let
goes.
me just run headlong into the movies that I've seen, and the movies that I've seen actually just are going to lead directly into the movie that we're talking about today, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Everything that I've seen has been. Did you see? Is everybody watching Austin just chug that water?
Yeah.
Like a brute.
You guys love it or what?
It's great. It's good stuff. Everything that I've seen this last week and a half and change has pretty much been alien related.
You watch Alien?
I've watched Alien.
Predator?
I watched Prometheus. I did not watch Predator. I watched
The Fourth Kind, the sequel to the Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
No, I did
Yeah,
not
yeah.
watch. I did not watch The Fourth Kind.
Did you watch
I watched Starship Troopers.
2001?
I watched
not really a-
Skyline. I watched. There's.
We're
gonna be
definitely
something
going
that
to do
comes me.
Starship Troopers on this podcast at some point.
Yeah, man.
Next week?
Eventually, I really want to be able to do Starship Troopers because that's a fucking. I mean, it's a really really fun movie.
That's one that we
and
all
it's
all three of us can agree. Because first of all, I don't have to
Yeah.
ask. I know Austin's never seen it, but that's
correct.
That's a movie that he would absolutely hate. I feel like just based
Oh,
on
I
No
feel
way.
Like it would be.
No
Yeah.
way.
If it's anything like Fifth Element, you might be right because I didn't really care for
No.
Fifth Element.
it's not like that.
Nope, it's nothing
Hey,
like that.
Austin,
at
do you
all.
like bugs?
I like A Bug's Life, yes.
All right. Imagine a Bug's Life if it was Saving Private Ryan.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yes, yeah,
That's not bad. I
that's-
thought you were gonna make a dumb comparison.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all
Nailed
right.
it.
Nailed it. Yeah.
Nailed it.
I mean, it sounds
A
interesting,
Bug's Life.
I
if it was
guess.
Saving Private Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah. Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
With
No,
less
no,
with
no,
less
you're-
political. Well, actually, it gets political too.
It's very political
Yeah.
with more boobs.
Yeah, there is. There's lots of boobs in one scene, so it's just one of those that just kind of catches you off guard.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, you get to see a lot of nakedness briefly, and then, yeah, look, it's a fun action. You know, like what would happen if the aliens that we encountered were not the little fucking globe-headed tiny little guy. I mean, everything from, Martian to E.T. to, I mean, everything that's, it's taught us to look at aliens as being these, tiny little figures with little bodies and
Humanoid,
giant gray
like.
heads. And yeah, humanoid. And what if they weren't? What if they were just giant fucking bugs and they were just, damn near impossible to kill, murderous fucking bugs? And that's what you get with Starship Troopers. It's one of those that I have. It's been a guilty pleasure of mine for a number of years. And Casper Van Diem and the Doogie Howser those are the only two characters that are in there. I mean, look, there's a bunch of people that are in there that you're like, oh shit, he's from Shawshank Redemption,
Yeah.
and
There's a lot of that
he's
guy
from
going on.
yeah, he's from Total Recall. So you get a lot of that, the from all the different characters that are in there, and it's just they're super fun movie to be able to watch. But it's like it takes itself super seriously as well, which is the thing that I enjoy about it. It's a little campy. But it's a super fun movie to be able to watch. And like of all the movies that I watched this week, and look, I've seen Alien just a shit ton of times, and I just watched Alien and Prometheus as like the beginning of the two different generations of the different Alien movies. There's a direct comparison between we've covered Arrival on this podcast, and I love a good Alien style movie, and I think I was going through just typing into Google Alien movies, and I was trying to find out where I would be able to stream all these different Alien movies, and the vast majority of Alien movies that exist, I believe that I've seen them. If you name an Alien movie, I bet I could tell you what it's about.
Oh, here I go. I'm gonna Google it.
Go for it, dude.
Okay, go.
All right, let's look up Alien movies, and we can test Tyler's knowledge here. All right.
You gotta get obscure though, dude. You gotta get really obscure. Stargate SG-1 Continuum.
Okay, hold on.
So
I'm not even on my
I was
list.
actually what's hilarious is I was watching the entire Stargate the timeline explained. It's an 8.5 hour video that I was watching
just to
on YouTube.
explain the timeline.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Are you ready?
And I love Stargate.
Are you
Go ahead.
ready? Galaxy Quest came out in 1999.
Oh, yeah, of
course.
course.
Everybody's seen Galaxy
Everybody's
Quest.
seen. Have you seen Galaxy
Yeah.
Quest?
He has not seen Galaxy Quest.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
It's a classic, dude.
It is.
The day
Sigourney
the Earth
Weaver.
stood still, 1951.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. And I've seen the remake starring Keanu Reeves.
I saw
Go
the
ahead.
remake in theaters.
All right, I'm going
Yeah.
to throw a curveball at you. Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, okay. I've seen that one so many times. I love that movie so much.
Okay, The Abyss came out in 1989.
Yes, it's all underwater. It's also James Cameron, by the way.
It is underwater, judging by that picture. What about Invasion of the Body Snatchers,
Of
1956?
course. I saw the original, and I saw the 1970s whatever version of it. Yes, there's been a bunch of remakes of that.
All right, what about
M. Night
Contact?
Shyamalan's Signs?
Yeah, of course I've seen Signs.
What about Contact,
Shamalamadingdong Signs.
1997?
Oh yeah, Jodie Foster, incredible movie.
Dude,
Matthew
Contact. Yeah,
McConaughey,
Contact
absolutely.
is probably
Contact's
one of my
awesome.
favorite movies.
It's
unironically.
a really, and it's a movie that it's a book that was written by
Carl Sagan.
Carl
It's-
Sagan.
it's
That's
very
right. The
Arrival-esque.
book reads like a fucking an instruction manual on how to be able to make a ship that travels through space.
What about
It's fucking-
what about
it's
Red
phenomenal.
Planet with
Yes,
Doc Holliday?
absolutely.
in it?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
fucking
Red
love that
Planet.
movie.
Red Planet. It came out at the
What's the-
exact same time as
What's the other movie that's
Mission
the
to
same as-
Mars.
Mission
Yeah.
to Mars
Mission to
and Red
Mars.
Planet
That's
are
correct.
required watching in my household.
Yeah,
Yep.
Even
love
though
that
ki-
shit.
I used to
man.
watch
Taylor-
Red
I-
Planet like that's another one
Every weekend.
I
Yeah.
watched it constantly, and I don't know why.
Same.
Yeah.
But
It was just always on every channel. It was on HBO. It was on Stars. It was
dude,
on
I had it on
Sci-Fi.
I've seen it a
VHS.
bunch.
I had it
It
on
was on
VHS.
Cartoon
I'd pop
Network.
that thing in after I got done watching Toy Story, and I'd be like, "Let's go."
Yeah.
You know.
Come on, hit me with another.
All
one.
right,
Go.
right. How about this one? All right, this one seems a little bit obscure to me. Flight of the Navigator.
Oh my God, that's not obscure
Is that
at
a
all.
Disney
it's
movie?
1986. It's what I fucking grew up with.
It is
Yeah, come on now.
1986. How'd you know?
Yeah, because dude, I was 10 years old. It changed my life.
All right, motherfucker.
So-
The Thing from Another World.
We talked about that
Yeah,
one.
so
1951.
that actually ends up becoming
got one.
the thing.
Yeah.
So
I know what he
the
hasn't
remake
seen.
of that became the thing. What's that?
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah.
Everybody's seen Killer
Everyone's
Clowns.
seen
That's
that
a great
piece
film.
Of,
Everybody's
that's a
seen Killer
shitty.
I've never seen that one.
Shitty movie.
Oh, it's so terrible.
No,
Yeah,
it's
and I love
awesome.
it so
It's
much.
awful.
Yeah,
dude.
that's the problem with it. It's one of those that's super campy and just it's terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible movie.
Yeah.
Give me something.
I'm trying. I had to pull up a different list because that you exhausted
Yeah, you
my
got to
other
go
list.
obscure, dude.
Okay, how about? Oh man, these ones don't look like anything that you've ever seen. All right,
Let me ask you this.
Okay, let's go.
What about
The Vast
Bloodsport?
of Night.
And the what?
The Vast.
The Vast of Night.
Night.
Yeah, it's actually on Netflix right now. And it's a alien sci-fi movie, but it feels like a movie that was made in the late 60s. It's actually really, really good about these people that in this town that hear this radio signal. Sorry, I was.
You just listed
full
off
synopsis
the
of it,
description,
yeah.
right? So you're good.
Yeah.
Starman, 1984.
Of course, that's Jeff Bridges.
What about
Yeah.
Star Kid?
Is that the sequel to Starman?
No, Star Kid.
no.
Star Kid's a Disney movie with the kid.
Oh,
that
I was gonna say yes.
he
Yes.
he goes inside the outfit that comes to Earth, and they go to the fair.
Have you
know
ever
what I'm talking
seen?
about, Star Kid?
Have you ever
He's
seen?
never seen it.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
I've got one you probably have never seen. You've never seen Retrograde.
Describe it briefly.
It's actually a lot like the new what's the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy guy? It's like his movie now. They like go back in time to like stop some like virus.
Is this on like Amazon Prime or some shit?
I think it is on Amazon Prime, but it's
Dude,
older.
I've watched a shit ton.
It came out in like
those
the early 2000s.
style of movies.
But yeah, I think it is on Amazon
Okay.
Prime right now.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It's one of those. Oh yeah, it's one of those that I was actually going to start watching. That I found Skyline. If you guys haven't seen Skyline, it's a terrible. I mean, like it's not a terrible movie. It's a very B movie. Plot and characters that are in it, but I think it has 3 sequels that I haven't seen. It's one of those that kind of just caught fire, and it was profitable for some company to make a couple of different sequels to it. So
What about Star Wars?
yeah. So
hated
Star
it.
Wars actually leads me directly into Close Encounters because they actually came out the same year. So that 1-2 fucking
Good
bunch.
call.
That's why
Good
Close
call.
Encounters is not as remembered as it should be, in my opinion.
Ooh.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Well, you know what though?
No, that's me.
I'm
I'm bigging it up. I'm saying it should have been remembered
Yeah.
better, and it's already is remembered fondly by a lot. But I think it could have been even.
It
bigger.
is. It's remembered fondly by a lot, and a lot of this was a really influential on people. Like, there's a behind the scenes extras, and Denis Villeneuve actually talks about being able to watch this. The very first time that he watched it was in a high school sci-fi club that he had joined, and they went to the theaters and they saw Close Encounters, and that's the first time that he'd ever seen it was whenever he was in high school, and it just completely changed his entire frame of existence on, oh shit, movies can actually be made like this. And for him, that was a huge inspiration for the movie Arrival, and just the big shots to it and the use of visual effects, and Close Encounters, it was nominated for like fucking 8 different Academy Awards, and then won Best Visual Editing, I believe is the category that it actually won that year. But yeah, it's like it was a very well recognized, very influential movie at the time, and I feel like you're probably right, Logan. It's one that not everybody has seen. So, Austin, was this your first time watching it? Oh, yeah, it was your first time watching it, correct?
Of course.
Yeah. I want to hear your thoughts, man.
Yeah, man.
I kind of mentioned it a little bit actually to Logan and to Tyler, but it felt very Jaws, but aliens is what it felt like to
Okay.
me. It
That's
just
a good
felt
call.
like Jaws, but an alien movie.
You know
That's
why?
all it was. Oh, why? Tell me.
No, I'm just asking. Do you know why?
Oh, no, I just Steven Spielberg, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course,
yeah,
Steven
yeah.
Spielberg. Yeah.
Williams.
Well, you finish. I'll go.
I was just gonna say I really enjoyed it. I mean, there was I couldn't tell you what because I watched it like a week ago, but there was spots I remember like making fun of it, just because it was just dumb shit that was happening that I was just making fun of, and me and Hannah would laugh about it. But overall, like the IMDb gives it a 7.6 out of 10. I'd probably give it a solid 8, like maybe even a little bit higher, because I thought it was really. I enjoyed it. Like I wanted to know what was gonna happen at the end. Like I was into it the whole time. But yeah, it was a good film. Good choice, Rubyen, for picking it out because I didn't know it existed until we watched it.
You're welcome, dude.
You legitimately, Austin, you and I actually had this conversation prior to the podcast, which is, whenever you start going through like Steven Spielberg's his filmography that he has had, I think it would be hard pressed to find somebody that has been more influential to the framework of all film in the last 40 years, 45, 50 years, and just the influence that he has been able to have. Is he the greatest of all time, most influential director of all time? It's going to be down to like him and Scorsese. There's going to be some some people out there that vie for those top spots, but Jesus Christ, man. And when you run through his filmography, I mean, this was the movie that he actually wanted to make before he made Jaws. And it just so happens that, this movie saw many different iterations of itself before it became, the Close Encounters. It had like 3 different titles before it became Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah, he started working on this like in his late 20s, right? Like his early 20s or something?
Yeah, like it was, it's from stories that he had told and from shorts that he had shot from, old fucking 35 millimeter cameras and shit like that he had whenever he was a kid. And, it's the use of all of this shit together that, finally culminated into the movie that we actually got to see. So came out the year after I was born. So same thing with
that's wild.
Same thing with Star Wars.
So you were raised on this.
Oh, 100% I was raised on it. And it became one of those things that was, it was a movie that it was on TV just so much.
Constantly, yeah. Even for myself, like being a teenager in the early mid 2000s, like this movie was always on TV, it seemed. And there were plenty of times where like the movie would come on and I'd start to watch it and I would get too scared. Like I was a little pussy.
Okay.
To be honest. Like it would start playing and then it'd just be like like that. I couldn't watch Twilight Zone. I couldn't watch this. I couldn't watch there were times honestly when I was a kid I couldn't watch Predator. I'd get scared. I don't know what it was, dude. I was just a little pussy. I'll be honest. But this
you're also a kid though. I mean,
yeah.
Well, man,
now I'm just a big pussy.
That's true. But like the scenes where the fucking kid gets napped out of the fucking house, and all that shit's going on. Yeah, it's super fucking scary. Just that whole idea behind it is super crazy. And I think that I don't know if we talked about it as we started recording the podcast, but Steven Spielberg. I mean, the whole use of aliens in movies is something that he has done. How many fucking times now?
E.T.
I mean, like, legitimately, it's become, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I mean, he's a guy who has wished for an alien sighting, or anything to that effect, for his entire life. And, up until I saw a special features that was actually made, I guess it was like 4 years ago whenever it was released. And up until that point in time, he was like, have never had, any type of, alien encounter or, sighting or anything like that. So
I doubt it.
I don't know, man.
Look,
I really don't know.
Steven Spielberg was abducted as a child, and that inspired
You think that's what it is?
Yes.
That was his inspiration. That's what got him going. And yeah.
I think Spielberg. Look, I don't know how deep you guys want to get. They
implanted all these ideas into his brain.
I don't know how deep you guys want to get into this movie, but like if you the opening of the movie in general, right? So we get the movie where these explorers, these wannabe Indiana Jones guys, are out in the southern desert of South America somewhere, South USA, I should say, not South America, and they come across these airplanes that have been missing for what appears to be the past 30 years or so. And we also have to take into effect the time frames of this movie, right? This movie was shot in the mid-70s.
It's actually in the Sonoran Desert. Go ahead.
Which is, I don't know where. My take on it was like
it is in like, Arizona, California,
okay,
southern United States.
Yeah, and the movie, the things that happen throughout the movie takes place kind of throughout the the mountains, the mountain range of the Western Americas. It kind of goes all the way up, throughout the movie. They seem to be traveling from south to north, and they stop in Wyoming. That's where the movie ends up taking place. But just the scale of the movie for me, and I'm sorry to take over, guys, but like the scale of the movie for me, like when it starts and we get the air traffic controllers, we get the visual of the airplanes that are traveling, and they're like, hey, we've got something flying in. Like, do you see it? Do you have visual? Then they radio a second airplane, and the second airplane's like, yeah, it's right on me here. What is that? What's going on? And then nobody has any idea. Like, hey, we've got nothing on the feed here. Like, you have visual. Do you have visual? It almost crashes into them. Like, it's just playing with them at this point. The movie opens up.
Do you guys want to issue a statement? He's like, I wouldn't even know.
I don't even know what the issue.
It's weird because it's we've had
it's
a
so
lot,
relevant to
right? Yeah, I was
now.
gonna say we've just gotten a lot of that in real life, and the pilots in real life situations, like, we don't know, dude. That was fucking the wildest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So
I think that I don't know if I wanted to get into it this early into talking about Close Encounters as a film, but like legitimately the thing that Steven Spielberg really wanted to get out of this movie is that he felt like the American government was deceiving its citizens and, hiding from them the fact that aliens existed. And that became the basis for what this film actually is. And, now we have...
Keep in mind that when Spielberg was born, a year later, Roswell happened.
Yeah.
And if you want to get into Roswell, like, there were multiple crashes that happened in Roswell, not just the big one that we know about through media, but there were multiple crashes that happened. And he was raised as a child. Spielberg was raised with the idea that something had crashed on Earth. Nobody can explain it. Nobody wants to talk about it.
Yeah.
And just think about the creativity aspect of that. Of all the stories he probably wrote as a teenager, everything to come up with an idea of what happened, what was going on, all the books he scoured, and all of the like actual data that he went to the library and tried to study and find, and reaching out to local agencies and shit like that. Like, I don't know, man.
Well, he was a big Project Blue Book guy as well. So
yeah,
and whenever you follow that shit of Project Blue Book, because Project Blue Book was a real thing. It was the military was trying to study UFOs, what they called UFOs at the time. They're not called UFOs anymore because that has a negative connotation to it. They're called UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon. And it's still the exact same thing, but just different
branding
to it. New Coke. So I mean, it is.
Yep.
It is basically. I mean, look, what pilots are talking about right now, and what is confirmed by the government just over the last 3 months now, 2 months, is that UAPs, UFOs are real, 100% verified real. They have no idea what they are. They can either confirm or deny that they are of alien origin. They have no idea, but what they do know is that they exist, and they defy the laws of physics as we understand them today.
But what's interesting though, so you see my
and
poster.
Nobody fucking freaked out about.
You see my poster, right?
Yes.
I'm not saying that things are alien for the most part. I'm just saying, like you're saying, we don't know, but what is the explanation? Is it a visual phenomenon that just happens because of light reflecting off of something in the right?
Well,
yeah, exactly.
What I want to bring up is something that I really like about this movie that I think is what contributes to Austin's belief that it's Jaws-like, and that is the slow feed of weirdness that happens, where you are put in you're very uncomfortable by the weird, unexplained things that are happening, and it just escalates and escalates and escalates until, they come in trying to take a kid. So that's my favorite part of this movie is how it handles the pacing of that. Which is interesting because typically I find that Spielberg's issue is pacing in a lot of his stuff. If I had to pick one thing outside of and usually it's pacing in the last third of the movie because he's trying to.
Yeah.
And I would maybe even say
how do I wrap it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I really liked about that, because you have people that are noticing this, you have people that are having experiences, and like you mentioned, it's taking place in a pretty rural area, and so if that had been happening in real life, would we even know about it? Because would they be telling anybody? Would anybody be listening or care, or just discount them as crazy?
Yeah, fucking bunch of crazies, bunch of UFO crazies.
Because look at
that's
Roy.
the biggest problem.
Even like Roy is it gets to the point where his own family is like, dude, no, like it's going too far.
Yeah, his wife takes the kids, dude, just fucking leaves.
So
Like
for me, that's my favorite plot point of the story, which is Roy losing his fucking mind. He has this image that's been burned into his brain, and he can't figure out what it is or why it is, and he just doesn't want. He gets to the point where he just wants to get past it. He wants to move past it, and he thinks he's moved past it, and then it's the scene where he's tearing down the clay thing that he has built, the clay mountain that he has built, and he tears the top of it off, and then it becomes the thing that locks itself into his brain, and he can't get away from it at that point in time. And it's the mania that's associated with all of that. That whole sequence. I mean, look, there's a lot of those sequences where like the house is all fucking messy, and it's just all these kids running around, and the parents are talking to the children like parents talk to children, and it doesn't feel like it's ham-fisted. It doesn't feel like it's beating you over the head with anything. It feels like very real, which is I love Richard Dreyfuss in that character. He does a incredible job being able to portray that guy. That originally that was supposed to be like Jack Nicholson was supposed to be
a few different people.
That guy.
Dustin Hoffman, Al Pacino.
Dustin Hoffman turned it down. Al Pacino turned it down.
Imagine Al Pacino in this.
Oh yeah, no.
As an alien.
No.
Yeah, it looked like a snow cone.
Ship.
Yeah. Yeah, it would just been so bad.
What does this potato look like to you?
And the only thing that ended up selling Spielberg on this was Dreyfuss working his ass off on the set of Jaws, where he just bugged Spielberg every day about how he's the perfect person for this job, for this role. And Spielberg finally was like, yeah, and he actually, Dreyfuss actually gave his ideas, and some of his ideas became points in the movie. And I mean, it's just I don't feel like there would have been a better actor that could have done that job at that particular point in time. He's obviously not my favorite actor. I mean, he's kind of an asshole, but he does an incredible job at being able to be that part at that point in time. So. Rubyen, give me your thoughts about it, man. I mean, I know that you're a big alien guy. I know you're a big UFO guy. I know you're a big X-Files guy. I know, really.
Fucking
it's crazy right?
dude over here.
Yeah.
Look, man. Okay, hold on. Let me. I don't know, man. This movie. I feel like there was a lot of knowledge on set from a lot of the people that participated in making this film, and I believe that he was able to get a lot of maybe real information that was available at the time, not available to the public. Because if you go and look into this movie, right, one of the I guess, what do you say? One of the hands, one of the on-set persons providing information was
as a guy who actually worked Project Blue Book.
Yeah,
right?
Joseph
Yeah.
Hynek. So J. Allen Hynek actually was a part of the Project Blue Book that started right after Roswell. And so, Austin, I don't know maybe if you're familiar with a lot of this just yet, but when Roswell happened, there was a lot of media attention on it because it just happened to blow up locally in the papers. But through the government side of things, it was something that they couldn't explain. And they created these groups called Project Sign, Project Blue Book, Project Grudge. They created all of these organizations and papers to be able to document and study the phenomenon that was occurring on national soil, because there were thousands and thousands and thousands of reports that started to appear after Roswell about flying saucers, which was the big term that was being used at the time.
Yeah.
But if you really research that, flying saucers, the saucer ideology was used back in the 1800s. So the term of saucers has existed prior to Roswell, but Roswell made it public. And J. Allen Hynek worked for the government as a astronomer, as a professor, to help the government study this phenomenon that was happening. And somehow Spielberg managed to contact him and get him on set as a guide to say, like, hey, is this what it would be like if aliens were in my movie? Is this what UFOs would look like? Should I put this in the movie or should I put this in the movie? And actually, in like the end of the movie, Hynek makes a cameo appearance when they're on the mountain, and they are, they're talking to the aliens or playing music with the aliens. And Logan, I want to hear a little bit from you in a little bit about the whole musical scene and kind of how that played out, because I thought that was super interesting.
Yeah,
I thought that was a cool idea. But the whole
I bet you could play that on Guitar Hero.
Yeah,
you probably, yeah, I bet it's out there. But I thought this movie was very interesting in the sense that it was extremely modern and still feels very modern, in the idea that the houses they were in, the advertisings we were seeing, like we saw the McDonald's ad on the side where the aliens even pause and like scan the McDonald's ad.
There was a lot of coke in that movie too, man.
Product placement, Budweiser.
Tons of product placement. Budweiser commercial right there for you, which is crazy that they left that shit in there for as long as they did.
When he was putting up the sculpture and there were Bud cans, he'd been drinking beer all morning while he was working on it, and he was drinking Budweiser. I thought the movie was very modern, and it still feels modern, and I really enjoyed that the events that happen in the movie seem to be events that we're still talking about now 50 years later. The shape of the objects, the color of the objects, the way that the government's responding to it. And I liked one of the scenes too, where once the French professor, or whatever you want to call him, the French person was like, hey, we have to come up with something to keep people away from here. And they were brainstorming on what to keep away. They were like, a pandemic, maybe an epidemic. And the guy was like, oh, nobody's going to believe a plague in this day and time. And then he was like, yeah, there's always some idiot out there that's not going to listen. It doesn't believe it. And like, it was funny to me. I thought it was funny.
Welcome to 2020.
2021. There's some idiot that's not going to believe that there's a plague epidemic out there. So they were like, what else can we come up with? And they were brainstorming ways to divert public attention. So I thought that was really cool. Yeah. I don't know. I really enjoyed this movie myself. I had a lot of fun with it. And it's almost as if Spielberg had some insider knowledge when he was working on this, is all I really want to say about it.
Look, I think he just did his research, and you talk about Hynek and the research that he was actually that he was doing. The whole Close Encounter scale was actually created by Hynek. So you have Close Encounters so there's technically six-fold classification for UFO sightings, which is nocturnal lights, daylight discs, radar visual, and then you get Close Encounters of the first kind, which is just a visual sighting, Close Encounters of the second kind, which is a UFO event in which a physical effect
paralysis
is alleged. And then Close Encounters of the third kind, which is the presence of an entity. So, and that's what we get in this, in the ending frames to the film. Is the Close Encounter of the third kind. There's also been extensions to the Hynek scale, Close Encounters of the fourth kind, Close Encounters of the fifth kind. You actually spoke about it. I believe, Logan, you were talking about it earlier, Close Encounters of the fourth kind. Wasn't that, who was the actress that was in that movie?
That was in what? I'm sorry.
Is that the one? Is that the one with the owls?
No, it's just called The Fourth Kind.
What's it called?
I think that's the movie, The Fourth Kind, right? That's the one with the owls.
Yeah, that's
the owl's face thing.
Yeah, that movie was actually pretty weird. Like that, I actually recall, I've seen it once, and I remember watching it having a very uneasy feeling.
I was about to say, I thought it was Milla Jovovich.
It freaked me out too, even though it wasn't like necessarily great. It had some scenes in there that were really like, ooh. Yeah,
just generally like uneasy feeling. Yeah.
Did not like that.
No, I liked though that the saucers, if you will, throughout the movie were all varied, and some of the shots that Spielberg put in here almost seem like some of the shots that we're getting today from actual footage, where we get the triangle encounter with the lights at night, we get the cone encounter, we get the cigar-shaped encounter, and then you just get the glowing orb that's trailing behind everything, which seems to be some kind of like, I don't know, scout or whatever it is. It's just a little bitty light following along the big ships, and then you get the mothership, if you will, at the end. Can we talk a little bit though about like some of the sets of this movie where they actually drugged some of the animals on the side of the road, and the shots we get where in very Jurassic Park, very early Jurassic Park, there is a scene where they pull up the station wagon, John Williams takes off, just starts going, and they pause and walk up the mountain as we get the reveal of Devil's Tower, Devil's Canyon. What's it called?
Devil's Tower.
Devil's Tower. That was almost a direct shot from Jurassic Park when they're climbing up the little hill. And now you go back.
Wouldn't it be a direct shot from Close
Well, that's
Encounters?
Yeah, it is. It is,
and that's what he meant.
And that's what I'm saying. Like if you go and like this movie is the foundation of every other movie. I guess prior to Jaws. This is the foundation of like every other film he's done in some sense, whether it's a shot or the score with John Williams or like the character dialogue. It felt very Spielberg. But there's also some Spielberg movies you watch where you're like, Spielberg did this?
Yeah. I mean, this feels like Spielberg, and it like, I've seen this movie a bunch, like I said, just through growing up, and it's kind of one of those things that was like an ever-present thing in my life. It fucking holds up, dude. Like it holds up really, really well.
Yeah.
In comparison to just other alien movies or anything like that, but it also holds up just from story content to just the way that it's presented, the reaction of the people, the reaction of the government, the everything. It was just incredibly well done.
I liked,
way ahead of its time.
I liked when the wife decided to take the kids and they were leaving early in the morning and she wasn't dressed yet. And he's like, honey, where are you going? I'm taking the kids to my sister's. What, are you crazy? Like he said, are you crazy? He's the crazy one. He's been building stuff in the living room and mashing potatoes. And he's like, are you crazy? You're not even dressed yet. She just stares at him and goes, what? Like, I like that
He's
scene.
throwing bricks through his fucking, his kitchen door, his kitchen window. Like, by the way, I don't know if you saw that. They almost kill somebody during that sequence. Like the kids are helping him out and shit. And like, there's little kids over there that damn near get just, smashed in the head by giant bricks. It's great. It's great things. I'm glad to see these things.
Well, and the scene on the mountainside, whenever we first get the encounter, and the police are chasing them, and the lady's walking with the kid in the street, and the cops come flying 60 miles an hour up the road around the bend as she walks off the street, and like it was a pretty close action shot. Like, honestly, I'm surprised somebody didn't get run over on set. How many times did they do that scene?
For this being one of Spielberg's earliest films that he ever made, I mean, it's amazing that he actually, he was able to pull things together the way that he was. And
this budget was massive, dude. It had to have been.
What's hilarious is it was originally produced at a budget of like $2.7 million or $2.5 million, I believe, is what the original budget of
What's
it was.
the inflation of that, though?
So, but what really ended up happening is once they started making the movie, and Spielberg was like, just don't even worry about it, and they weren't sending back numbers. And had they have sent back numbers, like how much this thing was actually costing the producers, they ended up spending almost $20 million making this movie. I think it was 19.7 was the final number as far as like the budget for this thing.
I did the math on that just now. 20 million and 75 is a $101 million budget.
Sure.
For his second film.
And what's crazy is this. What's crazy about all of that is like the studio was so fucking panicked over how this was going to be received. I mean, Steven Spielberg like legitimately took a big ass chance of making this, be his second like critical blockbuster success, and he put all of his chips on the table to be able to make this thing. And on his $20 million that they ended up spending, they had a $306 million return on this fucking thing.
Yeah.
So
let's do the math on that real quick.
Yeah, and that just made Steven Spielberg. He's now a staple of blockbuster hits for the next forever.
Think about this in 75 inflation rate. This movie pulled $306 million. You said.
Yep.
According to my in2013dollars.com. Which I'm guessing that's when this was made, for 2021. that would have been $1.5 billion that this made
Yeah.
at the box office. So you can see why every studio was like, we got to find the next Spielberg, because every movie he seemed to have put out on the run from Jaws all the way up to Jurassic Park just was a back-to-back blockbuster for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he pulled in billions for the studios.
Oh yeah, like legitimately created such an incredible cash flow for studios. You know, just going through his filmography, and look, this is what I'm talking about. Like whenever you're looking at somebody's filmography, let's see, E.T., Jaws, Schindler's List, Jurassic Park, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Saving Private Ryan. He was a executive producer for Back to the Future and probably had a little bit more to do with that than you really even know. Catch Me If You Can, Close Encounters, The Color Purple.
I love Catch Me If You Can.
Most people don't
dude.
even realize that is a fucking.
I think I'm gonna watch that soon.
The Terminal, Munich, all the Indiana Jones everythings that they've ever done. I mean, look, he's got a couple of I wouldn't say pieces of shit, but the Big Fucking Giant. That movie that came out.
Dude.
Yeah, it came out in 2016.
Trash.
It's actually not a bad movie if you go back and watch it.
It kind of is though. It's kind of uninspired.
Oh, I know. It kind of is.
It's uninspired and weird.
They lost like hundreds of millions on that, didn't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely they did. But yeah, man, like legitimately the credits that the man has. You just talked about one of his movies earlier, Lincoln. I mean, that's he has such an eclectic grouping of movies that he has made. Minority Report. The fucking Adventures of Tintin, that super weird animated 3D animated thing that he did, which was like executive produced by Peter Jackson. I mean, and Ready Player One. I mean, that's the most recent movie that we have of his. Came out in 2018.
He's
actually working on. You haven't seen Ready Player One?
Not in its
You'd love
entirety.
it.
Oh, I'm sure I would.
If you
It's
like,
great.
if you like Space Jam, then you'll love Ready Player One.
You're gonna fucking love Ready Player One.
If you were,
maybe I'll go watch it.
If you liked having
It's made
references
for you.
just thrown at you
Yes.
without any context or
Constantly.
care,
Correct.
Ready
Yes.
Player One.
And then he's actually doing West Side Story right now. So he's actually I watched the trailer for that just the
Dude,
other day.
I don't care about that at all, though.
Yeah, you say
Man.
that.
I thought my musical
I
guy
know,
was going to be
dude.
like, "Oh, it's a
I
musical."
don't give a shit about West Side Story, unfortunately.
Okay.
I've never really
Okay.
been into it. Like,
Maybe you'll like it this time.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they? Is it the Sharks?
The Sharks.
And the Jets?
Yeah.
I have
Is that
no
what
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the gangs. The snapping
Yeah.
gangs.
The two gangs. Yeah. Hey.
Oh my god. So
Yeah.
hold on. Let me divert you guys back to the movie.
No, let me
here real
divert
quick.
you
So-
guys back to the movie because
Yeah.
I want you guys.
Yeah.
I want to ask you guys a question. Have you guys
Go.
seen that animated
Are
movie?
aliens real? Yes.
No. This
I'm
is.
sorry.
Have you seen Monsters vs. Aliens?
Of
No.
course.
No, I watched the trailer. I started the movie, and then I was like, hold on, I got to do something else, and I turned it off.
Stephen
So I
Stephen
was-
Colbert plays the president. All right, so
Okay, I got to watch
you got to watch it. And not only does he play the president, but there's a scene where he, because I forgot about that movie until I watched this, and I was like, oh yeah, of course, the reference where Stephen Colbert is the president, walks up on this platform to communicate with the aliens, and he starts playing Axel F on the piano. And I just wanted to bring that up because that was a reference to the movie we're covering now. And
Yeah, didn't they
it's
do
awesome.
that like in a lot of media throughout the
Yeah.
80s and 90s? Didn't they just play the Close Encounters song like in every
Yes.
aliens related content after
And
that?
it is 100% a reference to all of that.
Yeah.
What is the I actually had it pulled up. What is the
So Logan, as a musical person though, what was your take on we communicate with aliens through mathematical music?
I mean,
D
it could be.
E C C G? Yes. Go
So
ahead.
first of all, that is like a major chord progression, which I interpreted to be as maybe, they're saying, well, hey, we come in peace in a way. But as far as like a mathematical side of it, obviously, yes, music is very mathematical.
of
and
course.
so I could see that as a possible, like, oh god, what am I thinking? Morse code like 2.0 maybe. You know,
Sure.
where
Okay.
it's just you have what you would have with Morse code, except it's different tones as opposed to short long. So you can just make more complex.
Yeah, because there was a scene when they were there, and the guy on the piano, and there was a guy on a radio like saying like, okay, two octaves, 3 steps, or whatever he was saying. I had no idea at that point. I was lost musically. I was like, dude, what are they talking about? And the guy just started nailing it, and then the software took over, and it was playing.
He starts playing the fucking the solo from Tommy.
Yeah, and at one
absolutely.
point, the alien started playing the Jaws theme song.
It was like,
did you guys catch that?
Wow, no.
Yeah.
Bum,
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
catch that.
bum.
I loved
yeah,
it.
and then it fucking. I also love that it blew out all the glass and all of the things, but didn't hurt anybody's eardrums. That was
Yeah,
my
based
favorite.
on that, they would have all been bleeding from the ears and
Yeah.
That is correct.
How loud
They'd
is that alien?
They'd have been
shit?
going,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
And that would have been the end of the movie. So
I don't know if that was offensive or not. I think I don't know.
I don't think that was.
It
Was
wasn't that.
offensive?
It,
I don't think it was.
20%. 20%.
20%.
There's definitely
Yeah,
a
okay.
percentage.
It was. It was at least
Oh, man.
acceptable for like Tosh.0.
Okay, there you go.
there. Yeah, but
Yeah, made it under that threshold.
but also just
that's-
maybe just under Joe Rogan though. So you know. It's,
Okay,
Yeah,
Jesus. Yeah, that's a comparison.
yeah. Anyways,
I-
I did like the application of music as a theme in this. Anytime you
Yes.
bring in some way to communicate in a non-traditional, what we're used to way, like an Arrival, I love that. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I love
Because
it.
I'm a
Yeah.
a communicative person. I have a degree that says I know communication. So I kind of
There you
I
go.
will
There
throw
you
that
go.
up.
Went to school for
I will
it.
throw that around for a second, and then
There
I
you
will
go.
toss it right back in the trash where it belongs. As far as getting me a job. Anyway, yeah, I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Also, for the
Yeah.
species of aliens, did you guys see did you feel that the first alien that came out was this weird spider-looking creature that was like elongated and walking all weird, and at that point you're like, oh fuck, right? Like, oh, it's about to eat these people. It looked very weird, and then it just went like Jesus style and just like it just raised its hands, and then
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh, okay, maybe it's not so bad.
Stretched out into humanoid form.
Right, which like that creeped me the fuck out the first time I saw it
Yeah.
as a kid.
Me
Yeah.
too, because
Um,
I fucking hate spiders, and that was close enough
That's
for me
true.
to hate it.
It came out on all fours, all lanky like, and then just Jesus itself.
Though this time watching it,
Um,
it didn't bother me.
Yeah, this time I was kind of laughing.
Yeah.
This time I watched it.
But as a kid,
Uh,
first time I saw it, I was like, I actually think I quit watching it at that point.
and then like 100
Serious.
of the fucking little grays come out, and that's the traditional, the gray alien, big head, black eyes that we get. So that's what I want to ask is like on this mothership we saw, and also which version of the movie did you guys watch? Because it came to
Director's
my
cut,
attention.
baby.
Yeah, director's cut.
Yep.
Apparently, okay, so I'm the only one that watched the special edition, I guess, by accident. So the only thing,
What's the difference between the special edition and the director's cut?
my understanding, the only thing that's different is that the studio added a scene where the main character actually goes onto the ship, and we get to see the inside of the ship.
Oh,
So I saw that scene at the behest of Spielberg. Like, he was like, do not put this in my movie. Do not add that. I don't want this. And then they were like, oh, okay, yeah, we get you. And then 5 years later, they released that version of it on Betamax or whatever. But that's the version I watched. And I will probably agree with Spielberg. Like, that scene could have been deleted. They could have just left that out. But he goes onto the ship and just like kind of like in awe. He's just kind of looking around, and we get like a welcome center, alien area where
Please
it's just
check
like a
in here.
circular. Yeah, please check in here to be processed. It looked like that kind of, but then it scales up, and we go through a tunnel, and you get to see like it looks like a massive megalopolis. It looks like New York City inside of the ship.
Yeah, I can see why you didn't
Oh,
want
yeah.
that in there.
I'm actually watching it right now, and I remember this scene now.
Yeah, so
And
that's the
it
version
is
I watched.
100% filmed at a later point.
Yes, it's
than
very
the entire
clearly,
rest of the movie.
It's
Yes.
very clearly CG'd or just kind of tacked on.
Yeah, it's very tacked on.
But I don't know. I thought it was interesting that they included all these different types of aliens, which is interesting considering, again, in the 70s, there's not a lot of context or lore other than maybe Roswell and Project Blue Book, but nothing media-wise other than like Dick Tracy and fucking Looney Tunes, Marvin the Martian. But like Spielberg's like, you know what? There's different species, there's different classes, there's different types of ships, there's different shapes of ships. But he got all of that information behind the scenes from Hynek, you know? Like, and that's what's cool to me, is that there has to be some truth somewhere in there.
Yeah, fucking UFOs are real. I don't know.
I see what you're saying, but yes, UFOs are real.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they're alien.
Okay. I can go that far. I can definitely say maybe they're not aliens. Okay. But guys, look at me. Look at me whenever I'm saying these words. Okay. And I want you to really think about
I'm
the
looking
meaning.
at you, but I'm also watching the scene.
The grand meaning of this, which is UFOs are real. Not like, hey, there's a guy who says he saw a UFO. He'd smoked crack twice. It might have just been he was just high as fuck. No, UFOs are real. Like, they're real.
Right. Every federal government from every continent around the world has some type of agency to document and study. And then keep in mind, how much of the information do they have that they aren't sharing with each other that could very easily cross over and go, oh, okay.
Why are we not all fucking freaked out by this? Why is it that everybody is just
Tyler, Hey, Tyler.
I guess
UFOs
are real.
We've got bigger problems to worry about.
Hey, man, there's a new Space Jam movie, and also, did you see the new iPad that came out?
Hey, man.
Look, and apparently we're sending billionaires to space like it's, the fucking you pulled this Cracker Jack prize and you get to fucking
I saw a tweet on Twitter that was like,
atmosphere.
what if all the UFOs are billionaires from other planets?
I saw
what
that,
if they are?
I was like,
I like
what
that
if they
That's
are?
a quality tweet right there. Yeah, dude. I mean, who knows, man? Who knows? I don't.
Yeah, why?
I used
why are
to
we
be
not
into
freaking
it.
out?
I don't know if I care that much anymore, man. Because
but why?
why? Because first of all,
What if it is?
Well, understand that I love space
What if it is
and space
aliens?
travel and the idea of exploring the universe and unlocking its secrets. That's one of my big things. I watch a lot of shit about that, but I don't necessarily think that has to involve the search for life. I think that's a selfish lens that we as humans
even if
put
it's
on.
only a drone, and it's sent to here from some other multiverse, some other universe, some other whatever the fuck it is, however the fuck that they get here, there is something that is happening that is real. I mean, it's real, right?
Right.
Okay. Confirmed. I mean, I'm not just making shit up here. I mean, it's real. So the fact that we know that's real, so the next step is, what are they and why?
Well, we also don't know where the origin of it, which is I get that's kind of your point, but we also cannot confirm that it is not originated from here already.
Okay.
So to me, it's like we're not at DEFCON max level yet.
Yeah. So until one of these UFOs
Goes right over
crash,
the fucking
it's
goes
like
over the White House and then does the whole fucking Independence Day.
Look,
fucking shoot a beam of light
here's
down
the thing,
into it
Tyler.
and just blows it out from the sides. Yeah,
And we're
everybody's
now
gonna
on
be
a
like,
watch list. But
UFOs
Yes.
are a lot like COVID in the sense that it doesn't affect me. Why do I give a shit?
It blows my goddamn mind.
Until I get COVID, then I go, oh, right. Kind of like UFOs. Who cares? They've been here for thousands of years. Doesn't affect me. Doesn't do it. Doesn't change the planet. Until I go, oh shit, they blew up the new World Trade Center. It's not. It doesn't do anything.
them aliens, they blew up my local McDonald's.
Yeah.
Then they're going to be all up in arms.
Here's
I don't know, man. I don't.
No, you know what?
I
You know where
cannot-
it's going to start, right? It's going to start whenever you start having these things be worshipped, because all conflict on this planet has always stemmed from some religious bullshit. That's what I think. And so as soon
Probably,
as you
yeah.
start getting like imagine if the flat earthers, like those fucking idiots, decided to turn their
Right.
gaze into like,
Yeah.
we are now going to worship
UAPs.
UAPs as a god, and the Scientologists are like, yeah, you're right, and then they form a coalition of that, and then you're just like, oh no, here we go. So then I think
Yeah.
there's got to be conflict before anyone gives a shit, because unless there's
blows my mind.
unless there's conflict, I don't think people care.
What the fuck is wrong with people? I mean, I think ultimately that's the core of the problem of everything is if it doesn't affect them immediately, then they don't give a shit.
Yeah, Rubyen made to me
And-
the best point in comparing it to
Yeah.
the coronavirus, because that's exactly right.
Yeah.
100%
Until it affects them, then it doesn't really mean anything.
It's like, oh wow, UFOs are real anyway.
Yeah.
That's
exactly
essentially how
what
they
happened.
took it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like if you
It's weird times, man. It's
if
weird
you seriously
times.
look up and you without trying to say that it's all real, if you look into actual information about it and you go back, there are documented cases, even if you read the context of it in the Bible, like flying objects and some type of craft in the sky.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Exists
this
in
is
every
the
human
same
culture.
people who said that the world flooded and a dude was eaten by a whale. So, I'm just saying that whenever you have, I don't know if you can go into interpretations, because if you start going into the interpretations of the Bible, you get wildly different things.
Okay, so then let's not go Bible. Then let's go.
Because like my dad
1800s
will talk about
newspapers.
like the fucking
Let's go
Nephilim
1800s
and shit, and I'm
newspapers.
like,
Let's go 1500s Nuremberg articles. Let's go to documented
should
stuff
we
unrelated to
change
religion.
this podcast to Discovery?
What's up? You're
Aliens
listening
on
to podcast, the UFO podcast.
Did you guys ever watch what is the one on History Channel with
Ancient Aliens?
Ancient Aliens?
Yeah, Ancient Aliens.
No.
As-
What the fuck
as
is that guy's name?
cartoony as it is, they make some valid points occasionally. You
No,
gotta,
I used to
you
love
gotta
that
wade.
show.
You gotta wade through a bunch of
I can't
sewage.
take
though,
it seriously, because like anytime I go
Right.
and talk with various people that I know that get into that, and I'm just it gets too far.
Giorgio Tsoukalos.
It gets taken too
That's
far,
right.
and I have to check out.
Yeah, of course. It gets super silly.
Yeah.
But like legitimately, the thing that I love about what has happened just very recently with the confirmation from the government is like there's no speculation about this. Like there's zero speculation on whether it's real or it's fake.
Unless the
There's
government
none-
was just releasing that as a distraction because the COVID is doing this, and yeah.
Yeah, 5G antennas. I got
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
then
Look, I'll give you guys one good one prior to Roswell. Here in Texas, one of the best incidences you could look up is the Aurora, Texas incident that happened in 1897, which is a publicly documented, paper-written Dallas Morning News article, multiple witnessed event of 1897, prior to flights, prior to Roswell, prior to UFOs, an event that happened where they claim to have even buried a body from the crash site. I mean, this shit has been happening for thousands of years.
of course it has.
And the media consumption of it has turned it all into a for-profit, like, gray aliens and little green men and Mars, and like, but we're just now getting into the realm of government provided footage, official documentation.
And look, they have so much more than what they've released on all of this, obviously.
Of course.
Because they never would have released that shit without the fucking leaks that they had internally that actually leaked those videos out. And then through the Freedom of Information Act, they had to be able to release this footage, saying that it was confirmed footage by the U.S.
Do
military.
you know the
and-
kinds of crazy
like-
shit you can get from FOIA? It's insane. Like I saw a guy that was like, he was like, yeah, I just thought I'd ask about. I think he was like looking up some financial thing, so he just sent the government like, hey, can I get like these different reports that you had back in 1980 something? They were like, yeah, and they just sent it. It was just some guy.
Yeah.
Like you can like literally anybody can do it. That's
Yeah,
the
we
beauty
could
of
do
it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Literally anybody can do it. Yes.
it's awesome.
Let's do it.
Freedom of Information
Let's
Act.
do it.
Yeah.
So,
I'm using a
I want
fake
all
name.
your
though.
Thanks for
information.
listening to podcast The Alien the podcast.
we didn't even talk about the movie.
Oh, we did.
talked enough about
We
the
talked
movie.
tremendously about the movie.
Yeah. Also, the ending.
Guys,
real
um,
quick, how'd you guys feel about the ending?
Look,
I mean-
it's a very Spielbergy ending.
I don't think
I
so.
mean, it's
I think this is.
you don't
I
think
thought so at first, and then I realized, dude, he just left his family. That's awful.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And cheated on his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't cheat on his wife.
No, he kissed
totally,
that lady.
Like, made out with that lady.
I think it was more of a. I
mean,
get what
unless
you're
you
saying,
got a different
but also
definition of cheating.
I think it was like a we've come this far, we've been together for the past few days, good luck kiss kind of thing, more so than it was like a love kiss. But also you're right, but also like
I
think
don't
it
know,
was
man. I thought
in the
he
moment
fucking,
heat
I
of the
thought
alien
he,
adventure.
No, I thought he loved her because she was the only one that really saw it through with him. I thought he really felt something.
Completely
He's a
forgot
piece of
about his
shit.
kids, and it just goes on an
forgot
alien
about his
spacecraft.
kids. Yeah.
He forgot
Look,
about
if
his
I had
kids
a choice
the
between my
second the
kids
shit
and an alien
fucking zapped him.
spacecraft, yeah, I would definitely.
Dude, I'm going on
Bye,
an alien
kids.
spacecraft.
yeah.
Also, can we talk about so?
That's why you
so
don't have kids.
the
I'll tell you
incident-
about it
You
later.
don't have to make that choice at
beginning-
all if you don't have kids. Up
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
There you go.
exactly. Yeah, we all. The movie started with them finding these old aircraft from World War II.
Yeah.
Right,
that had been
30 years
missing for
later, that had
fucking
been
30
missing.
years. Yeah.
So the aliens came, dropped off the spacecraft
Yes.
or the
The-
airplanes.
Yes.
That's the context I didn't get throughout the movie though. Is I was like, oh, this event happened. Also, here's a giant oil tanker that's been missing just in the middle of the desert. Also, like the aliens just kept leaving context clues, and then somehow,
they were dropping off all this shit that they had borrowed.
oh, okay, they were like, we're done
They were
with
like,
this.
hey,
we
yeah,
don't need this
I-
anymore.
We've
studied
already
it.
seen all these movies. We're going
Yeah,
to go ahead and bring these movies back. And hey,
And
we
it
got
was-
room on
it
our
was super-
spaceship for some people to be able to go ahead and climb on board as well. So
Yeah, it was also very interesting to me that they brought back all of the missing people reports, but they only brought back Americans. And the Americans they brought back had not aged.
this is the thing.
And then they brought
it-
back the child that they had just abducted the day before. They were like, never
Yes.
mind, actually, we don't need him
Yeah,
this time.
that was
He was super fucking annoying. He was
Yeah.
out there. He was
yeah.
fucking with all the handles on all the doors,
And he was yelling,
everybody was
"Toys!"
like, "No,
That-
yeah,
that
no,
talking shit
specific-
about
yeah.
Benny.
that specific thing is what solidified it as a Spielberg ending, because like why would
Yeah.
they do that other than
Yeah,
because
Spielberg.
you wanted the satisfaction of the ending of like
Of the mom and the son,
yeah. And then he's like,
yeah, of course.
unless I don't do a Spielberg ending and this man leaves his family. Ha ha.
yeah,
And I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
okay. And it's meant to be a cool thing. And I'm like,
And then also the U.S.
well,
Air
you know, it
Force
was a
or-
different time, man. It was a different time.
Yeah, it was the 70s, dude.
yeah, no one
Everybody
no
was
one cared about
coked out.
family back then.
Dad's-
We didn't have the fast
Dad's
movies
also-
yet.
We didn't have F9 yet, so it wasn't
Also,
about family. yet.
everybody in the movie looked like they were coked out of their mind.
Oh, I'm certain that they were.
But also,
Yeah, it was the 70s. Come on.
also the government had this religious cult say their prayers before they sent them off onto the ship. Like they'd already decided, like, by the way, we're all going to get matching suits. We're all going to say prayers, and you guys are going to go to space forever. I thought that was interesting that they already had this plan that, like, by the way, once we make contact, we're going to send people onto the ship. Like, how quickly did that event happen where they had all, like, what was the planning aspect of, like, let's make a small church, let's get a preacher, let's get matching outfits, let's say our prayers. Was that same day? Like, they're like, oh, shit, we actually made contact. They put it together within the past 30 minutes, or they had been planning it for weeks. And the government...
You know, that's what the Heaven's Gate cult actually, like, based all their shit on, was a lot of that, what
Close
you just
Encounters?
said.
It's
Yeah,
wild.
because it was the whole thing where they had matching suits and they had all, they were all aboard. They were going to go get on the back of this spacecraft that was hiding.
Oh, when Halley's Comet was coming over?
No, it wasn't Halley's Comet. It was Hale-Bopp. When Hale-Bopp Comet came over, then they were going to go ahead and just get beamed up into the ship. And, they decided they would just go ahead and murk themselves. It's crazy.
Wild. It's wild. I'm going to start a cult.
Dude, I thought about it many, many times. We'll talk about it after the podcast.
It'd be so easy.
Yeah, we'll talk about it after the podcast.
Give me your money. I'm going to save you.
Hey. We're not going to go into that yet. So, you got to work in to give me all your money. So
okay.
You start with ideas, and then you slowly get into give me all your money. Come on.
Okay.
You know how this whole cult thing works.
I don't, though. Teach me. Can you be my leader?
Yeah. Well, I can actually do that. See, I have this plan where I have this core group of people, and they make an investment into the thing. And then, it just trickles down from the top, and down to all the different members of the organization.
Right.
Yeah,
that's proven track record on that one.
Looks like a spaceship.
It's almost like a spaceship. Yeah, like a.
It's exactly what it is. It's a spaceship.
It's very, very chip-like.
Yeah. It's just this.
What flavor?
So
orange.
All right. Yeah, man. Close Encounters, the third kind. I'd give it a solid 8.5, 9 out of 10. I enjoy it. I enjoyed it back then. I enjoy it now. I've enjoyed it every single time that I've watched it. It's like I said, it was a movie that was light years before its time.
Ha.
Got him.
All right. Does everybody have? Anybody else have any closing thoughts on Close Encounters?
Final thoughts for anybody that's made it this far into the podcast. Do some research on Project Grudge, Project Blue Book. Study a little bit about J. Allen Hynek.
Send in some requests from Freedom of Information Act and
just go down
some shit about aliens.
The public rabbit hole that you have access to on the internet of documented cases. The Nuremberg event of the 1500s was interesting. There's a lot out there. I don't know if any of it's actually real.
Salem witch trials.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh, UFOs are real. 100% UFOs are real.
They're not, but they're not
UAPs are 100%.
Doesn't mean they're extraterrestrial though.
I know. UAPs are real though.
Listen,
know,
have
man.
you guys
that's why they had to
Judging by
rename
some
it.
of the videos and stuff that Tyler showed me, man. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that really defies physics that's out there that I don't think any of us could ever accomplish.
Shit traveling hundreds of miles within the blip of like 6 seconds.
It's dark energy. Obviously,
them.
we all know it's dark energy.
Are you guys familiar with the hollow
gravitational
Earth idea
forces,
that humans have existed?
Bob Lazar. Yeah.
The Nimitz incident. Yeah, it's probably the
I'm
best
all down.
one public. Anyways,
all right. Yeah, we could legitimately do this forever.
Yeah.
USOs.
So, does everybody have a movie?
I honestly forgot to pick a movie. I'll let
Ruben,
you guys go
look,
first.
man, we do this
dude?
every single time.
When are we
this
doing
every
when's the
podcast? Every podcast we do this.
Do we? I forgot. When's the next Tarantino movie? Are we getting close?
Fuck, I have no idea.
6 episodes away.
Oh,
6
okay,
episodes
we got
away,
time.
I think is what it is. Yeah, we got plenty of time.
Yeah, we're good.
Plenty. We got plenty of time.
So are we doing shit movies this week? What are we doing?
Just present a movie.
I picked a good
present a movie, sir.
Any context, any genre, any...
Doesn't matter.
I know mine's
right.
going to win, so I'm not real worried about this.
Okay.
I'm pretty confident.
All right, Logan, confidence goes first. Go.
Ghostbusters.
Which one?
Oh,
First
shit.
Got to do it.
Just Ghostbusters?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
If they stomp them down.
Bustin'.
Bustin'.
I actually saw the new Ghostbusters Afterlife trailer. Just a new one just came out just the other day.
I watched that as well. Interesting.
Yep. Austin.
So, completely different from Ghostbusters. I was thinking The Godfather.
Holy shit.
Fuck.
We haven't already done that?
Okay.
No,
we have not.
Oh.
we've been doing.
We
haven't
Goodfellas.
we haven't done like a dark mob movie since like Goodfellas. So I was like, let's do another one.
We've done like 2 of those already though. So, you know.
2. What was the other one?
We did Scarface.
We did,
Scarface isn't dark. Scarface is badass. Is what Scarface is.
All right.
well, I'm gonna stick with my trend I managed to get you guys to watch Bottle Rocket somehow. I'm just gonna go on to the next Wes Anderson movie at this point. I'm pulling out a Rubyen classic here. We're gonna move on to Rushmore.
Okay.
That's what I'm picking.
Okay. That's a it's a good movie.
Boody-doo,
It's a good movie.
And you?
Mine is going to be one that doesn't win. Although it's been a favorite of mine for a number of years. It's a
Let me
little
guess.
independent film by a director named of Danny Boyle. Any guesses?
Snatch.
Any guesses? Train Spotting.
Okay. Oh shit, that movie's
Trainspotting.
We
depressing.
talked
as
about
fuck.
Train Spotting a few episodes
I love
ago.
it. I love it so much.
Oh god.
That's the one with
I'm changing
is that
mine.
the one
I'm
with
changing
Obi-Wan
mine.
in it?
Yes. Yeah, early
it's,
Obi-Wan.
Ewan McGregor's one of his first movies.
I'm changing mine.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
The Last Starfighter.
Okay, no, we're gonna stick with your original one. Okay, so the 4 movies that we have on the board right now, we have Ghostbusters.
Right. The Last Starfighter.
What was your first movie that you said?
Rushmore.
Rushmore. Okay. We have Austin with Godfather, just like out of fucking left field.
Right.
Dude, I don't
And
have 4
then-
hours to watch a mafia movie.
And then we have Train Spotting on the boards. So Logan, you go first.
Well, of those options and not being able to pick my own, because I would in this situation, even though
Yep.
normally I wouldn't say I would, but I would in this situation, I'm going to actually pick Train Spotting. Because
Okay.
I feel like,
Interesting.
crying, I guess.
Yeah. There you go. Rubyen.
Huh. Well, look, I'll be honest. Train Spotting is fucking depressing.
It
So
is.
I'm gonna pick Godfather
Okay.
because it's been a while, and I actually started watching. That's one thing I forgot to tell you guys. I started watching Sopranos for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Never seen it ever.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode on DVD on this giant CRT over here, and by God, is it amazing!
It is.
Yeah, it's
it is
amazing.
like
It's a great show.
something else. It really is.
Fucking tour de force.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go with Godfather.
Cool. Austin.
I'm gonna make it really quick, really painless. Train Spotting.
Oh wow. my God.
I've seen Ghostbusters fairly recently, and I liked it, but I've never seen Train Spotting, and I've always heard good things about it. So
we might have a problem here.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
So
Oh wait, is that a twofer? We gotta
okay. So who we have?
We
We
have
have
to flip a coin.
We have 2 for Train Spotting. We have 1 for
Godfather.
Godfather, and I'm actually gonna say, look, I mean, this is
You can't pick your whatever you were gonna pick. You can't let it factor into whatever votes have already been
I
cast.
know. That's Ghostbusters is what I was gonna say. So I mean, like, legitimately, it seems like we're doing Train Spotting, guys. So
Oh shit.
yep, That
Oh
just happened.
shit.
yeah.
All right,
it was
well-
either gonna be Godfather or Train Spotting, and it come down to super dark comedy, Train Spotting. Get your
You
Danny
could
Boyle
have
on.
had. We're ready to believe you, but instead now,
Yes,
you're crying.
yes.
You're depressed. You're
Yeah,
sad.
now you're crying.
You did this
Yeah.
to yourself.
Yeah.
I gave you.
Yeah,
I
just-
tossed it up, and all you had to
Just
do was.
just as a heads up, you're not gonna after the movie, you're not gonna be like, oh man, I'm super into. Let's go. I'm gonna go run now. That's not gonna happen.
Now, our next episode
No.
is going
I
to be very
anticipate it.
reminiscent of Tyler and I's Inside episode, where we just are kind of
Super dark.
yeah. So
Super dark, super
All right,
introspective.
so on the
Yeah,
next
absolutely.
episode, I'm just gonna have all the lights off. I'm just gonna be just dirty and nasty. I mean,
So, like-
it's not
like-
any different
like
than I am
this?
now, except
This
just
is
the lights
what's-
are off.
This is what's gonna happen. We're all gonna do heroin, and they're gonna
No.
record the next episode. So
no.
I'm just gonna
What?
be like this
what?
the whole next episode.
Oh shit! I think Rubyen died. So don't look up anything about it. Just
I'm
go
not.
into it completely blind.
Yeah,
it's great.
that's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, incredible cat. Oh, by the way, you're definitely gonna watch it with subtitles turned on. Like,
Oh yeah,
if you
it's
could-
it's
turn the subtitles on like all the way.
You guys
Just
made me
turn
watch
them all, turn
Kingsman.
your subtitles all the way up.
This movie is like Kingsman on heroin.
Yeah. Like, it's, yeah. 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb. Hell yeah. It's a great movie. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Adios.
Bye-bye.
The truth is out there.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. We appreciate you listeners and enjoy reading your feedback. Drop us a line at podcastmoviepodcast@gmail.com. Check out our website at podcastmoviepodcast.com, where you can find all the links to our social media, as well as links to all the major podcasting platforms. If you can subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast listening platform, it really helps us to be able to spread the word. Again, thanks for listening. See you next week.